At Bill Harris Dealerships, we are proud to be distinctly different. Always guided by our core values, we are committed to providing you with a top-rate experience every time you step through one of our doors. Our service and sales teams are staffed with automotive experts who love providing meaningful service to everyone who visits one of our 3 dealerships. So whether you're looking for a brand new Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or something from our always changing used inventory, you can depend on Bill Harris Dealerships to always be there for you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Matt Miller.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Hey, it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. In fact, I was thinking about this the last couple of weeks. Not only have I not been doing these videos with you, but I also have gotten out of the habit of putting up Facebook posts on my own Matt Miller for Ashland Facebook. So I got to get back into the groove of things. I'll tell you what, there's just been so many different projects that we're working on throughout the city. And then, of course, you throw in all of those little individual issues that develop on a daily basis, whether that's a backed up sewer line or a broken rotor line or something else that might be going on. It consumes your time. So you lose track of some of these important items.
Absolutely. And I got 10 questions for you because it's been a while.
Well, so I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today.
Well, thank you, Matt. I'm going to start out with the biggest thing is the Claremont Avenue.
Yes.
A lot of comments, a lot of people sending me
Absolutely.
things. Hey, next time you talk to Mayor, ask him about Claremont. Can we get an
Absolutely. Well, first of all, this has been quite a project, hasn't it? And there's no doubt that it's been very inconvenient for all of us that travel up and down Claremont every day and use the businesses that are along that route. But this is an important project because we have long desired to see Claremont Avenue in good, smooth pavement condition, and we're getting there. Now, I spoke at our city council meeting last month, and I actually shared some of the reasons why people have seen different actions taking place out there on Claremont. And let me just start by saying, you have to remember that this resurfacing project doesn't just involve putting down a new layer of pavement on Claremont Avenue. This time it involved digging down to the foundation, actually making repairs in that foundation that in some instances goes down more than 20 inches below the pavement that we drive on every day. Now, when you see our crews out on these side streets, such as Mifflin Avenue, I know they just resurfaced that this year, Sloan, Steele, when you see our crews out there, Sarver Paving, all they're doing is milling off the top layer of asphalt and putting new asphalt down, and it is marvelous. Well, that is much easier than what you're seeing happen on Claremont Avenue. So here's the first challenge we ran into. When the engineering firm originally came out and did core samples to determine how deep the street was, Claremont Avenue was, they did that in a variety of different places. However, until we actually took up the asphalt and started making repairs to the water line, would we have ever known that in some places that foundation might have required 9 inches of backfill with concrete. In other areas, it involved up to 20 inches of concrete. And in some places, you had crumbling asphalt that had been layers and layers down below the top level asphalt. You also had places where it was brick. And so all of those issues have certainly led to a lot of challenges with Claremont Avenue. Now, I say those were challenges, but the good news is we've already overcome those. That work has been done. The new concrete has been put down and patched the variety of areas in that foundation. The water line has been installed, and now we're getting ready to put that top layer, of new pavement down on those first 2 lanes of Claremont Avenue, the north side that has been blocked off for so long. Now today, I know that I've already gotten calls and messages from some folks that have seen that they appear to be taking up some of the new asphalt that they put down. That is correct. The actual, I don't know what the proper term is here, but the actual asphalt mix that was used in some of that area did not end up meeting ODOT specification. And they monitor this all the time. This is an ODOT-led project. They monitor it and it didn't stack up. So now portions of that have to be taken up and then a new layer will be put down. This is not necessarily something that is uncommon, although you hope it doesn't happen often, but it's something that we're going to make sure that we got what we paid for. So that's one of the things that you see happening out there on Claremont Avenue today. Now, on the other 2 lanes of Claremont that have not yet been milled up, people are seeing all sorts of markings on the asphalt and on the sidewalk and the curbs down that section of Claremont Avenue. All of those markings do indicate different places where repairs and replacements will be done. However, we are not going to complete a full depth repair on these other 2 lanes, so we will not be digging down a full 20 inches or however many inches might be required to replace the foundation on those other 2 lanes. There's a number of reasons we're doing that, not the least of which is we're running out of time. Soon winter will be here, and you can't lay down new asphalt when I think it's the ambient temperature has to be above 50 degrees, so we're going to be entering into the winter season here, so we can't finish all of that before the winter. Number 2, the cost. We have spent so much money on those first 2 lanes, repairing that foundation, repairing those sidewalks, repairing those curbs, that quite candidly, we've exhausted our budget, so we're not pouring more money into the other 2 lanes at this point. They will still get new asphalt, so there will be still smooth sailing on those 2 lanes, but we're not going to do the full depth repairs like we did on the first 2 lanes. Anyone who's watching who might wonder, well, how much is this project costing? Well, it'll probably be around the neighborhood of $6 million when it's all said and done. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we did do so many repairs to that foundation and had to use so much more concrete than we ever anticipated. Number 2, it also has to do with the fact that we did repair a water main, which was a monumental expense nearing about $1 million in and of itself. And all that being said, I would just remind folks we got nearly half this project paid for by grants. So I'm still glad we went through with it, but I have to admit this is one project that probably didn't go as smoothly as what we would like. Now, Joe, you're probably wondering, will it be done? Well,
that's my next question.
That's a great question. Obviously, I don't know what kind of weather Mother Nature is going to give us in the next 2 months, but right now, our friends at Driven Excavating, they are the contractor on the project, do believe they will be able to get the project completed by November 15th. It was previously reported that the contract said it had to be done October 30th, and I just want to clarify that that was misinformation. It actually says November 15th. So hopefully it can be complete by mid-November.
One of the questions they sent to me is are they going to get it done this year?
Yes.
Is that a good
Well,
possibility?
believe me, we all want to have it done this year, and the contractor knows that. I've met with the owners myself, and they believe that if the weather cooperates, we will be able to have it complete by the mid-November. So, like I said, there's so many factors, though, that are out of our hands when it comes to Mother Nature that we'll just hope for the best.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to stay with pavement right now because they want to know any updates on the other paving projects around. You spoke of steel. And
this year we hope to have a total of about 60 streets around the city resurfaced. That'll be the largest number of streets we've ever done in one pavement season, and that is well underway. Sarver Paving is the contractor who's doing that work. I mentioned some of the streets they've completed: Mifflin, Steele, Sloan, and others. And I believe the last update I heard was they feel they have about 2 more weeks of pavement or of work to be done before they will have completed all of those streets that were on this summer's pavement resurfacing program. And 2 weeks, you have to think about it, 2 weeks, Sarver usually goes into a neighborhood where they've got a variety of streets that are on the list. They will mill off that asphalt, and then they come back through and resurface it all the next day. So it's probably reasonable to think that 2 more weeks of work will get that done. So stay tuned. There are also the folks that are putting the asphalt down on Claremont Avenue. So obviously they can't do both at the same time. So we'll hope that the weather cooperates.
Absolutely. I'm going to jump to, they had a closing at Mansfield Plumbing.
Yes.
What can you give an update on that, or is there something the city is doing? Or
no, I appreciate you asking about that, because for years Mansfield Plumbing Products was one of our largest employers here in this county. In recent years, as they've made reductions to their staffing levels, they now, I believe it was reported, are down to around 275 employees. Immediately when we got news that they had made the decision to close the factory there in Perrysville, our Economic Development Office, which is based out of Ashland here but covers the entire county, reached out to the company representatives and let them know that we would be willing to help in any way we can, help connect their displaced employees that will be done here at the end of December with new jobs at some of our other companies here. I know we have been sending them a whole list of different companies here locally, what they're hiring, what positions are open, what they're paying, and of course we will share that with the employees who are ultimately impacted by the closure there in Perrysville. This past week, myself representing the city and our County Commissioner Mike Welch and our Director of Job and Family Services, as well as our Economic Development Coordinator, Cameo, we all met and we talked about what we can do to leverage some state funds perhaps to help some of these workers as the next several months continue to unfold. It's a challenging situation because, of course, Mansfield Plumbing wants to keep the employees right up until the end of the year because they've got work to be done right up until they close. At the same time, however, we know that many of the men and women who are working there probably don't want to wait till the very last minute to find their next position. And so we're going to work together here as a county with Job and Family Services to get the word out to these employees about where other opportunities or future opportunities exist for these employees and their families.
And one of the opportunities I've seen on your page, the city's actually hiring too.
Absolutely.
There's actually quite a few that's hiring.
Yes.
So maybe that will.
No, that's a good idea, Joe. If people want to check out the City of Ashland's website or Facebook page, you can find open positions in the city government.
The next question is the Veterans Day breakfast.
Yes.
Are we having that this year?
We are. The Mayor's annual Veterans Day breakfast will take place on Veterans Day, which this year, November 11th, falls on Saturday. So it'll be the first time we've had the breakfast on a weekend day, and we are going to have it Saturday, November 11th. It will be at the Eagles Club on the north side of the city of Ashland. So we've had it there before. I think we had it there last year.
Right.
And same wonderful breakfast will be served with a whole variety of options, and we will honor the veterans as they come into the building. My wife and I, Melanie and I, will be there to greet everyone, and hopefully we have a wonderful breakfast together on the morning of Saturday, November 11th. The breakfast will start around 7:30 and probably finish up around 9 or 10.
And I've been to every one that you've had, and phenomenal food.
Well, we certainly love the men and women who have fought for our freedom, and even those who have simply served our country in peacetime. Ashland County is a group of people, citizens, who love our veterans, and this is one way we can show that in a tangible way.
I'm going to jump right to the next one. Trick or treat.
Yes.
Any updates on that? Or
yes.
anything?
Well, Trick or Treat this year in the city of Ashland will be held on Thursday, October 26th. Thursday, October 26th, and the time is 5 to 7 p.m. Now, that's changed from years past because if you recall, we used to only have Trick or Treat for 1 hour. I believe it was 5 to 6. But we want to make sure that all of the young people and their families have time to get home from school and from work, get changed in their costumes, and still be able to get around town before it gets too dark outside. So I want to remind everyone, our Trick or Treat will take place on Thursday, October 26th, 5 to 7 p.m. and rain or shine. Rain or shine.
That's very important.
That's been an issue.
I always get the message. Hey,
yes.
It looks like it's going to rain.
Yes.
Is trick or treat still on?
Absolutely. So rain or shine, trick or treat will happen on October 26th. Now, I also want to add to that, however, many people take advantage of Costume Capers, which is in downtown Ashland. That's where all of our stores and businesses downtown set out tables and give out delicious treats. That is expected to take place on Halloween night or Halloween evening. So we look forward to that as well.
Great. I made a post this morning from your guys' release, the leaf pickup.
Yes.
That schedule is coming about, and once again, Ashland will be picking up the leaves.
Yes,
out at the road.
Absolutely. That'll be happening soon, and I know our engineer's office is putting together the maps of what portions of the city we will cover during what time frames. So if you want that information, I'm not sure that we have that posted yet. Actually, I think it might have already gone up, and that would be available on our website. So the City of Ashland website.
Posted too on Ashland County Pictures.
Okay, good. Excellent.
Next one is the Eagle gas station. Is there an update with that?
Okay, the Eagle gas station, of course, is the now vacant lot that exists on the corner of West Liberty Street and Claremont Avenue, right across the street from our U.S. Post Office. The city did get a grant to remove the old gas station that sat there abandoned for years. The gas station is gone now as a requirement of the grant, and according to the EPA, we have to do a site review to make sure that nothing escaped that could contaminate that area. during the process. So that work is underway. Then right behind that site is also a structure, an old house that was recently acquired. I was going to say required. A house that was recently acquired by the city of Ashland. We partnered with the Ashland County Land Bank to purchase it, and ultimately we will remove that house as well. And the reason we're doing that is because that will then allow us to turn that corner for the time being into additional parking that will be utilized by the U.S. Post Office employees. Anyone who's visited the post office during the work on removing this Eagle gas station knows that there is virtually no parking left for the customers after all the employees park in their parking lot there at the post office. We're hoping that alleviates some of that congestion once that's turned into a properly striped parking lot there on the corner of West Liberty and Claremont.
Next one, the Vision, Pumphouse.
Vision, yes, we're still working with Vision Development right now on all the new apartments that we have talked so much about and the creation of the Pumphouse District. I know there are probably people speculating on whether or not that's going to happen. It is absolutely still in the works. We're talking with the crew just about every day, the developer that's working on that project. What you have to realize is, in order to build housing units on what is considered a brownfield site, in other words, a site that used to have a manufacturing facility, you have to jump through a whole lot of hoops before you can get the EPA's final, yes, you can do this. We've gone through most of those hoops. Some things that we have to address that are in the process is there's several places not on the site where the old rubble pile used to be, but across the street where there's some fuel tanks that we need to remove. We've already got the estimate on that, and we're going to move forward with that. And then there's just some other minor things that we have to address before the project can move forward. We're working with the electric company on possibly relocating some of the power lines in that area. And I guess that's probably getting into the weeds, but nonetheless, I'm trying to show you that those are the types of things that take time and that are going on behind the scenes. In regard to the Pumphouse office building, very, very exciting. Working with the development group out of Columbus on turning it into a hotel. That's all very much still in the works, and we are seeing some of their initial drawings. They haven't presented them to us yet, but I've seen some of their concepts. They're planning to add additional space onto the Pumphouse office building so that they can get closer to probably having 90 hotel rooms there. And it's a very, very exciting project, but it too is underway. It's just, it always takes time when you're working on these sort of developments.
One last question. The designated outdoor refreshment area, also known as DORA.
Yes.
Can we get an update on that?
We'd actually originally thought this might be done earlier in the summer. However, it has taken us a while to get all of the pieces and parts together to roll out the DORA. Now you might say, what pieces and parts are you talking about? Well, something as simple as finding the cups, as designing the decals that go in the windows, and then probably most importantly, we just received the signs that we will place at the perimeter of our DORA. Now you might say, what is he talking about? Well, you said it, Joe, designated outdoor refreshment area. In other words, these signs will go up at the locations where people can no longer walk with an alcoholic beverage. And that's a very, very important part to the DORA. So we just got those signs in, we'll get them up, and I'm expecting that probably by the time Halloween rolls around, we will have our DORA in place and be able to give it a try.
Okay. Well, again, thank you, Matt. I know you're really busy, and I
No
appreciate
problem.
you taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you for listening.
Have a great day.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, we are proud to be distinctly different. Always guided by our core values, we are committed to providing you with a top-rate experience every time you step through one of our doors. Our service and sales teams are staffed with automotive experts who love providing meaningful service to everyone who visits one of our 3 dealerships. So whether you're looking for a brand new Chevy, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, or something from our always changing used inventory, you can depend on Bill Harris Dealerships to always be there for you.